Thank you to everybody who's been sending in their weather questions. We're going to turn it over to Juniper for her weather question that she has for us.
My name is Juniper, and I go to Trailside, and my question is, are hat-top clouds common?
Thank you, Juniper, for your question. High-top clouds are actually more common than you might think. Like their name suggests, high-top clouds are clouds that reach up into the upper atmosphere. Typically the upper troposphere. Sometimes they can even break into the lower stratosphere, which is that second layer in the atmosphere. These occur with deep updrafts or convection that is able to continue to push the top of the clouds further and further up into the atmosphere. Severe weather also typically has high top clouds associated with it. There are four main cloud types that we look at at meteorology. Cirriform clouds are clouds that are made of ice crystals, and they are typically very high in the atmosphere. They're high, wispy, hair-like clouds. Then we have cumuliform clouds, which are very cotton ball, fluffy clouds, and these typically have some really fun shapes to them. And these show that there is some convection and moving vertical motion in the atmosphere, and they are typically associated with fair weather or good weather. Then we have stratiform clouds, which is Latin for layer, and that's exactly what these clouds are. They're a layer of clouds in the atmosphere. They're broad, widespread, and typically cover the entire atmosphere. Then we have nimboform clouds, which are rain clouds. These are associated with cirro, cumulo, or stratus based on the cloud shapes that they are, and they produce rain, and that's what we call these rain clouds. Meteorologists look at two different satellite imageries to figure out what type of clouds are in our atmosphere. We look at visible satellite imagery, which is what sunlight is reflected off of the ground or off of the clouds. If you see black, that's because the ground typically absorbs a lot more of that sunlight, and so it doesn't reflect it as much into the satellite imagery. When you see white, that's associated with clouds because they reflect in a lot of that sunlight. The not great thing about visible satellite imagery is that it doesn't work at night. So we use infrared satellite during the overnight hours to be able to still see what the clouds are doing. These take temperatures, and since the ground is a lot warmer, we are able to see the cooler clouds in the atmosphere. Thank you, Juniper, for your questions. If you have any weather questions, you can submit your video questions to kcrg.com/unews.